Congratulations on your new NS130 Inflatable Skiff. This quick start video is going to have just the things you need to know to get up and running easily with your new watercraft. Unpacking your NS130 from its bag, you'll notice all the components that it comes with. You'll have the boat, including the center chamber, floor. You'll have an included paddle, pump, and repair kit. And then the seat kit comes with the premium seat itself, a seat swivel base that you'll need to install to the bottom of your seat. To install the seat swivel to the seat frame, you'll need a 10mm wrench and a Phillips screwdriver. That's it. Straight out of the bag, you'll notice when you unroll it, there's some protective packaging on some of the valve caps and things. You can go ahead and remove all that. And then the first thing you're gonna wanna do is inflate the side chambers to about 70%. So there's 4 side chambers. You'll wanna go to each one and inflate them to 70%. You'll notice right at the valve, there is a label indicating that the side chambers max inflation is 4 PSI. So when you get to about 3 PSI, you're gonna wanna stop there. After your side chambers are inflated, you're gonna wanna go to the floor chamber. That center chamber holds a little bit more pressure, so you're gonna inflate that all the way to 8 PSI. Then you can go ahead and install your track boards, or you can inflate the side chambers all the way. It's a little bit easier to install the track board setups at partial inflation. So to make it easy on yourself, go ahead and set up those track boards how we show you in the video, and then top the side chambers up all the way to 100%, which is 4 PSI. Now that all 5 chambers of my NS130 are inflated and topped off, there's just a few extra small steps you need to take to get the boat functional for use on the water. I've pre-installed the port side track board to the NS130, but I'm gonna use the starboard side track board to show you how to set up the track boards for mounting the seat to. This is gonna act as your mounting surface for the seat, and there's a couple important things to note. When you install this seat frame rest, you're gonna wanna take these short stainless screws and you're gonna go in through the recessed hole on the top side of this seat frame rest, and you're gonna just go on a couple turns with this track nut. Okay, then your setup is gonna be there and it'll be easy to slide into the track. So I'm gonna do that on both sides. Again, the recessed hole that doesn't have the brass insert in it, and I'm just gonna thread that track insert on loosely, just a couple threads. I'm gonna insert that to the inboard track slot, and I'm gonna wait to tighten this down. I'm gonna slide it back just a bit. This is gonna give me room to install the end piece. So I've got this end fitting all the way installed and tightened down. I'm just gonna insert this part right in to the receiving mount. And then I'm gonna insert my T-bolts into the track. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to butt this vertical wall right up against the end of the track, but I'm gonna do it at an angle. So it's at about a 45-degree angle, so I can insert it into the receiving end of the mount and just eyeball your track. Make sure the T-bolts are in position to go through the holes on the top of the end piece here. And then you're gonna take your green knobs and thread them on. I like to push forward on the black piece and pull back on the aluminum track just to make sure I'm locked in as securely as possible. So I'll tighten that down. And you don't have to go super tight, just snug on these so they don't move. And then I'm gonna measure the distance that I have installed, the distance between the seat frame rest and the aft end of this black part here, and I'm at about a little more than 2 of my finger widths from the end of this piece to the front of this piece. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. That's going to allow me to easily install the seat. So once I've measured it and I like the spacing, I'm going to just tighten these seat frame rests to the track. And the seat frame is going to rest right on top. I'm just looking down through the top of the seat frame to make sure that these holes in the seat frame are aligned with the brass inserts in this seat frame rest. We've included 4 of these knobs. And so that I make sure that I properly engage with the threads, I'm going to go most of the way in, but I'm not going to tighten it down yet. I want to leave a little bit of play so that when I go to the other side, it mounts up nice and easy. The reason I left a little bit of pliability is because sometimes you'll need to pull the seat frame and flex the side tube in a little bit. Now, this is primarily a need if you're installing the seat frame with the side chambers fully inflated. If you do this ahead of time with the hull inflated to about 70%, lining up these holes is going to be a lot more effortless. But there is enough flex in the hull before you install the seat frame that you can kind of push the side chamber in to get these holes to align nicely. So then I'll come in, I'll make sure everything's tightened down. And you might think that the seat looks positioned a little bit far forward on the boat. This is a good starting point. If you're a single user and you have a lot of gear up front, you may shift it back just a bit. But I find that when you're running at speed, this is a really nice position for the seat. The boat posture takes on a really efficient ride. So now that I've got my seat frame installed and my track boards installed, we're ready to mount an NT motor and start using the watercraft. So since I prefer left-handed tiller operation, I have the seat offset to the right. It's really comfortable for me. If you prefer right-handed tiller operation, you may want to switch it around and orient the seat offset to the port side of the NS130. Or if you already have an offset tiller handle on your motor, you may choose to just position the seat in the middle. The standard package suits one user. If you wanted to accommodate 2 passengers in the NS130 and add an extra seat just like this up front, I would simply shift this seat to the back of the track board and purchase the additional set of track boards that go forward of the included set. And you can either utilize that, again, for a second seat to accommodate 2 people on the watercraft, or you can mount accessories like rod holders and a fish finder to that and get them up forward so it's in your line of sight. Unpacking your NS130 inflatable skiff from its rolling bag for the first time, you'll notice all 5 chambers of the hull are pieced together as you want it set up when you inflate it. So you can go ahead and just start inflating the boat as soon as you unroll it. But one thing to note is that there is a wire management system that's a series of loops on the underside of the deck. So if you remove that deck and take that away, any cabling, wiring, you can run through those loops to keep them in place so that they stay there when you roll and pack the boat back up. And then next time you inflate the skiff, everything's there in its place securely. The pump that's included with the boat is dual action, meaning you can remove all the air if you choose from the boat. This is really useful if you're disassembling the boat at the end of the day. You can remove all the air and close the valves off, and it'll stay nice and compact and tight, and you can roll it very effortlessly and put it back in its bag. One thing to note about all the components together, they do fit inside the bag with the exception of the seat and the seat frame. If you find it easiest to just roll up the skiff and lay it into the bag and close the buckles and tighten up the bag around the skiff and leave the other components separate, sometimes I find that that saves me a lot of energy at the end of the day when I've had a long day on the water. One really nice thing about the bag that the NS130 comes with is that these track boards actually integrate into the bag. So there's hook and loop Velcro straps. You'll lay the track boards in, you can leave the end pieces on, the black mounting pieces, you can leave those installed and lay the track boards in the back of the bag, secure them with the Velcro straps, and that adds a lot of rigidity to the bag so it becomes effortless to roll on concrete or any hard surface. Thanks for checking out the quick start video on the Newport NS130 Inflatable Skiff. I hope you find as much enjoyment out of this awesome watercraft as I do. Have fun, and remember, the way forward is electric.